Alawe Minglava Sita Murutaye Focus Cheniani Alawe Piabijo the library. Dine Pabia Magaro would the book taught Chp-2 Part 2 Pipare. The conceptions of dukkha may be viewed from three aspects. 1. Dukkha as ordinary suffering, dukkha. 2. Dukkha as produced by change, viparinama dukkha. And 3. Dukkha as conditioned state, sankhara dukkha. The conception of dukkha at the body may be viewed from three aspects. Bones and domune. Domune donda quebima, quecha metana mare. Diniama the boba puluraga, dukkha domune mohopuno. Dukkha domune mohu. Dukkha at the body out. Domune donda quecha bima, nale. Number 3. Dukkha as ordinary suffering. Damen see in the bullshit dukkha. Dori pionere dukkha surayari. Dukkha look correct. Namene viparinama dukkha sura malezo. Pop and piesi genial people are dukkha. Number 2. Tinkhara dukkha, pubin seeing kaya di the boho dukkha. Elusubima quecha nale. All kinds of suffering in life, like birth, old age, sickness, death, association with unpleasant persons and conditions, separation from beloved ones and pleasant conditions, not getting what one desires, grief, limitation, distress, all such forms of physical and mental suffering, which are universally accepted as sufferings or pain, are included in dukkha as ordinary suffering, dukkha. All kinds of suffering in life. Boama shidimya, see dukkha a go no, Ubama barrel like bat, muipajin, sadivo, no, uminjin, sickness, piana jin, that, de sonje. Association with unpleasant persons and conditions. Machiminated duro, machiminated a jongarune, tuisong jung sayaje, and separation from beloved one and pleasant condition. Chinided duro, dia were gone at chini, gomonet chini, the anima, guia geno. No getting what one desires, a low shira mayache, grief, no. Signal Medaya, Sui Bubanjemo. And lamentation, mood, distress, sin when a low Madamia pitching. Edilumio, or such form of physical and mental suffering. I mean, yo by science, say by science, dukkha, a go which are universally accepted as sufferings of pain. And our go and Tlogalo, and see agents so be my nale hare ya go to ga ordinary suffering to be my dame mula dukkha re to be my dukkha so I tell my power at healthy feelings and healthy conditions in life. It's not permanent, not everlasting. It changes sooner or later. When it changes, it produces pains, suffering, and happiness. This vicissitude is included in dukkha as suffering produced by change, viparinama dukkha. A happy feeling, daya wakone kanamuri, of happy condition in life, boama, pyozia gone achini. It's not permanent, not everlasting. Area beroma miemni, beroma tower dishimini. It changes sooner or later. Aku domo kanani to piano. When it changes, it produces pain, sufferings, and unhappiness. So This vicissitude is included in dukkha as suffering produced by change. အဲ့လိုမျိုးဖောက်ပြန်ပြောင်းလဲခြင်းကြောင့်မို့ဖြစ်လာတဲ့ဆင်းရဲဒုက္ခတွေကိုတော့ဝိပရိနာမဒုက္ခလို့ခေါ်တဲ့အပြောင်းလဲကြောင့်ဖြစ်တဲ့ဒုက္ခဆိုတဲ့ခေါင်းစဉ်အောက်မှာထည့်ထားပါတယ်တဲ့ It is easy to understand the two forms of suffering, dukkha, mentioned above. No one will dispute then. This aspect of the First Noble Truth is more popularly known because it is easy to understand. It's a common experience in our daily life. So, အဲ့ဒီပေါ်ပြမှာဒုက္ခနှစ်မျိုးပါပေါ့နော် So နားလည်ဖို့ရအလွယ်ကူတဲ့အတွက်ဘယ်သူမှလာပြီးမှ dispute လုပ်မှာမဟုတ်ဘူးညင်းမှာမဟုတ်ဘူး This aspect of the First Noble Truth is more popularly known. So အဲ့ဒီဟာပို့ပြီးမှအဲ့ဒီရဲ့ပထမဒုက္ခသစ္စာမှာပါတဲ့ပထမအရိယသစ္စာမှာပါတဲ့ဒီဒုက္ခကတော့ပို့ပြီးမှလူသိများတယ်ပို့ပြီးမှလူပြောများတယ်ဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့နားလည်ဖို့လွယ်လို့ and it's common experience in our daily life တို့ရဲ့နေ့စဉ်ဘဝမှာလည်းအမြဲတမ်းဖြစ်နေတဲ့ဟာတွေမို့လို့ but the third form of dukkha as conditioned state Sankhara dukkha is the most important philosophical aspect of the First Noble Truth, and it requires some analytical explanations of what we consider as a being, as an individual, or as I. ဒါပေမဲ့လေအဲ့ဒီတတိယမြောက်ဒုက္ခဖြစ်တဲ့သင်္ခါရဒုက္ခဆိုတဲ့ဟာကတော့ most important philosophical aspect ပဲအဲ့ဒီအားတကယ်တရားကိုအဖြစ်တရားသဘောအဖြစ်လုံးဝအရေးကြီးဆုံးအဘိဓမ္မာပဲအချက်ပဲဘယ်ရလဲ First Noble Truth ကပထမသစ္စာတွေက and it requires some analytical explanations of what we consider as a being, as an individual, or as I. So အဲ့ဒါကိုနားလည်ဖို့ဆိုရင် require ဘာတွေလိုအပ်မလဲဆိုတော့ analytical explanation တရားဥပမာခွဲခြားစိတ်ပြပြီးမှရှင်းပြရတဲ့ဟာလိုအပ်မယ်တဲ့ပိုင်းခြားရှင်းပြဖို့လိုအပ်မယ်ဘာလဲဆိုတော့တို့တွေကပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တ attva ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တ attva ငါဆိုတဲ့ယူဆတဲ့အရာကိုအရင်းမြစ်ကိုသိအောင်လို့တို့တွေကတရားရှင်းပြဖို့လိုအပ်တယ် What we call a being or an individual or I, according to the Buddhist philosophy, is only a combination of ever-changing physical and mental forces or energies, which may be divided into 5 groups or aggregates, Panchakanda. The Buddha says, in short, these 5 aggregates or attachments are dukkha. Elsewhere, he distinctly defined dukkha as the 5 aggregates. O Bhikkhu, what is dukkha? It should be said that it is the 5 aggregates or attachment. Here, it should be clearly understood that dukkha and the 5 aggregates are not two different things. The 5 aggregates themselves are dukkha. We will understand this point better when we have some notions of the 5 aggregates which constitute the so-called being. Now, what are the 5? So here, what we call being, or an individual, or I. တို့ပြောတဲ့တတ္တဝါတို့ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်တို့ငါတို့ဆိုတဲ့ဟာက according to the Buddhist philosophy, Buddha Tadanaya, maybe like we may say, Buddhist Abhidhamaya, is only a combination of ever-changing physical and mental forces or energy, which may be divided into 5 groups or aggregates, Panchakanda. Every being's individual I ဆိုတဲ့အရာတွေက Buddhist philosophy အရတော့အမြဲတမ်းပြောင်းလဲတဲ့ရုပ်နဲ့နာမ်နဲ့ပေါင်းဆက်ထားတဲ့ဒီနည်းမို့တို့ဘယ်လိုပြောလို့ရလဲဆိုခန္ဓာ၅ပါးလို့ခေါ်တယ်ပင်စခန္ဓာလို့ခေါ်တယ်ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးလို့ခေါ်တယ်အရာပါပဲတဲ့ The Buddha says မြတ်စွာဘုရားဘာပြောလဲဆို in short အကျဉ်းအဖြစ်တန်ခိတ်တင်တာ these 5 aggregates or attachments ဒုက္ခတဲ့မြတ်စွာဘုရားတန်ခိတ်တင်တာပြစ္ဆုတ်ပါဒနဲ့ခန္ဓာဒုက္ခဆိုပြီးမှပြောတယ်လေနော်အကျဉ်းအဖြစ်နဲ့ဒီဆွဲလန်းတဲ့ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးဟာဒုက္ခပဲလို့မြတ်စွာဘုရားဓမ္မစကြာမှာပထမဦးဆုံးတရားတော်ထဲမှာသူဟောထားတယ်လေနော် as well he distinctly defines dukkha as the 5 aggregates. O bhikkhu, what is dukkha? It should be said that it is the 5 aggregates of attachment. So အဲ့ဒီမြတ်စွာဘုရားအခြားတနည်းအားမှာလဲဒုက္ခကိုပြင်ဆက်ခန္ဓာလို့ထင်ထင်ရှားရှားတတ်မှတ်ပြောပြထားတာရှိတယ်။ဥပမာဝိဟန်တို့တဲ့ဒုက္ခဆိုတာအပဲနည်းဆိုတော့တဲ့ဒုက္ခတွေပြစ္ဆုတ်ပန္နာနဲ့ခန္ဓာဖြစ်တည်ဆွဲလန်းတဲ့ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးတွေဖြစ်တည်ဆိုပြီးမှမြတ်စွာဘုရားကိုယ်တိုင်သိချပြောပြထားတယ်တဲ့ Here it should be clearly understood that dukkha and the 5 aggregate are not two different things ဒီနေရာမှာဒုက္ခနဲ့ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးကနှစ်မျိုးနှစ်စားကွဲပြားခြားနားကြည့်နေမဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုတာကိုရှင်းရှင်းလင်းလင်းနားလည်ထားမှရမယ်တဲ့ The 5 aggregate themselves are dukkha အဲ့ဒီခန္ဓာ၅ပါးဒီပင်လျင်ဒုက္ခပဲတဲ့We will understand this point better when we have some notion of the 5 aggregate which constitutes so-called being. So ငါတို့ဒီတဲ့တတ္တဝါလို့ခေါ်တဲ့ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးအကြောင်းကိုနည်းနည်းနားလည်ထားတဲ့အခါကျမှဒီအချက်ကိုပုံမှုပြီးမှရှင်းရှင်းလင်းလင်းသဘောပေါက်လာမှာပါတဲ့။ဆိုဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့တချို့ကကြတော့အယူဆရှိတယ်ဒါကတော့နော်စာဖတ်သူရဲ့ဖြည့်ဆွဲပြီးပြောတာပေါ့တချို့ကကြတော့ဘယ်လိုအယူဆရှိလဲဆိုပြစ္ဆုတ်ပါဒနဲ့ခန္ဓာဒုက္ခဆိုတဲ့အတွက်ဆွဲလန်းတဲ့ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးဒါလင်ဒုက္ခခန္ဓာ၅ပါးကဒုက္ခမဟုတ်ဘူးအဲ့လိုယူတဲ့အယူဆရှိတယ်ဒီဟိုမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဆိုဒါဆိုရင်ဒါမှားသွားပြီပေါ့နော်ဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့တချို့ကပြစ္ဆုတ်ပါဒနဲ့ခန္ဓာဒုက္ခဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ဥပါဒံအစွဲကိုဖြုတ်လိုက်ရင်ဒုက္ခလည်းပြုတ်သွားမယ်လို့အဲ့လိုယူတာရှိတယ်ဟုတ်တယ်အစွဲကိုပြုတ်ခြင်းအပြင်ဒုက္ခဖြစ်เสียအကြောင်းတွေအကုန်လုံးပြုတ်သွားမှာတော့ဟုတ်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးကြီးရှိနေတူရတော့ဒုက္ခပဲဥပမာထားတော့ဖျားပေါ့ဖျားဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဖျားစဖြစ်တဲ့အချိန်မှာဆိုသူအားရတယ်အကုန်လုံးပြုတ်သွားပြီပြစ္ဆုတ်ပါဒနဲ့ခန္ဓာပြောတဲ့ဥပါဒံနဲ့ခန္ဓာအစွဲမရှိတော့ဘူးဥပါဒံအစွဲမရှိတော့ဘူး but they have that 5 aggregate လေနော်ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးရှိနေတဲ့အတွက် at least ရုပ်ပိုင်းဆိုင်ရာခန္ဓာမှာဒုက္ခတွေခံစားရတော့မယ်သူဒီဥပမာထားပါတော့ဘာလဲဘိုင်နာတို့ခေါင်းကိုက်တာတို့မျက်စောပြဖြစ်တာပဲနော်ခေါင်းကိုက်တယ် and the wound တော့လာတယ်ခေါ်တာပေါ့ wound shore ဒါတွေဖြစ်တာပဲဆိုဒါဒီရဲ့ပြစ္ဆုတ်ပါဒနဲ့ခန္ဓာကြီးဒီခန္ဓာ၅ပါးရှိနေတယ်လို့ပဲလေနော်ပန်စုခန္ဓာ so အဲ့တော့ခန္ဓာ၅ပါး now what are these 5 aggregate ခန္ဓာ၅ပါးဆိုတာဘာလဲဒါသိဖို့လုပ်ပြီ the 5 aggregatesခန္ဓာ၅ပါး The first is the aggregates of matter, rupa khanda. In this term, the aggregates of matter are included the traditional 4 great elements, Chattari Mahabhutani, namely solidity, fluidity, heat, and motion, and also the derivative upadaya rupa of the 4 great elements.In the terms of derivatives of 4 great elements are included our 5 material sense organs. That means the faculties of eye, ears, nose, tongue, and body, and their corresponding objects in the external world. That means visible form, sound, odor, taste.And tangible thing, and also some thoughts or ideas or conceptions which are in the spheres of mind object, Dhammayatana. Thus, the whole realms of matter, both internal and external, is included in the aggregate of matter. So, the first is the aggregate of matter, Rupa Khanda. Patama khana garo yodo I asu upon kore rupa khana pide. So in that standard five aggregates of matter, in that standard aggregate of matter, any yodo I susu ba all suyama include bari pales or the traditional four great element. Though Tonan Sela Usaya pure deji leva, no? Satari Mahabudani look at deji leva to a pare. So Eddie Satari Mahabudani and by the diamond, one deji leva to a Nemade solitary ma George, fluidary UCJ, P puchin, motion, low charging. Eddie ma George UCJ, pu aging, low charging, so that, but we are more these all why also that. Still, I have a labor share, and I didn't Macari derivatives look correct, and Ubara Yotile party there, and I was so beauty my pillar. Ubara Rupalo correct, Ubara Yotile share. In terms of derivatives of four great elements, and it's Deji labor Api Ubara Yoti party less or our five material sense organ. Ngare patara yu lo khore patara yu nga khu de patara yu nga khu so ba de le so ro the faculties of eye sakhu lo khore myasi the faculties of ear lo khore toda na bo no toda aja ayu na ayu nose I don't think that I'm saying nose so kana bo kana and then turn so sha bo no saying wa now body are I don't think the kaya any patara yung ngaku shi de and ngaku de mela the mo turu ne ngaku ne sasa de yari shi ya and corresponding object ko wa tu ne sasa de apian loka tasaya ayu ni shi de ba le so lo shin myasi twa so lo shin visible form for rupa yung ko ma no amyin lo ya de ya so na resolution saw more then she may now orders solution and then she may taste a yard that she may tangible thing tilo kain lo yare hurry she may put a by you no idea pin ruba yung dada yung gana yung red yung put a by you so that already need and also thought or ideas or conception which are sapphires or my object Damayarana look correct say net the sign it Damayarana net to my sheet Damayoni or no area by necessary to do it a gency a tweak or sick area alone at Joe that sign. So in that's the whole range of matter any lonely RP internet or external or my sheet in your area go long Rupa can look for it no aggregates of matter. The second is the aggregate of sensation, Vedana khanda. In this group, that include all our sensation, pleasant or unpleasant or neutral, experienced through the contact of physical and mental organs with the external world. They are of six kinds, the sensations experienced through the contact of the eye, with visible forms, ear with sound, nose with odors, tongue with taste, body with tangible objects, and mind, which is the six faculties in Buddhist philosophy, with mind objects or thoughts or ideas. All our physical and mental sensations are included in this group. So Dutiya Khanda, the second is the aggregate of sensations. Sensation lo khore ayun khansamu asu apawmo no Vedana khanda Vedana ne sasai Vedana is sensation ayun khansamu. So in this group are included all our sensation. So the tema solution do a sensation ne akolong ba khansamu ayun khansamu de akolong ba pleasant kaun ne dukha vedana de le ba chanda de ha and unpleasant sin the dukha vedana de le ba or neutral lo khore sin le mo chanda le mo de ale lek khanda chin khore Adukama Dukha Dumaho Ubekha Vedana Pare. Experience through the context of physical and mental organs with the external world. Also, a twin Pimba Ayun to a twin abono. Yo Manodra in it, says every Pitimia, Kanaja, the Alum Bare. So, though Yo Manodra is a violence, they are the six kind, they are of six kind. The sensation experienced through the context of iron with the visible form. So, Sakubara look correct. Miasine, a being anima, Miasi a Gidane, Rubai being a visible form. Ia look correct, Toda Barane with songs at the end. No, and nose with odor, a Ghana Barana, Nakone Ganayo, and Nene Tide. And turns with taste, Shane Zingwa Badarane, taste red diom, Ayadane to it. Body with tangible object. Kaya Badara, you Kanagune, Ibiane, tangible object, Tilo Twilo Yare, put a way on it to it. And then, not a quarter of mind or sable, no, say, which is the sixth faculties in Buddhist philosophy. Buddha Abida Mama Bar, says to her, and Satama Miao, a Jidat to Moho, to let Dwara the Bible, no? To a Bohuin say, the Bur say Manavo, Mimo. And I do a variety as mind object mana yet another correct, harding at the tea. Arab let the Damayo. To buy the Conabur agency, tweet or idea or thoughts to adding it, so bounty. All physical and mental sensations are included in this group. Other yoga, seko, Kandamu, Widanari, Along, Chomyolo, Gunasim, and the Mulum Pitamia, Ayon Kanehari, a go long the appointment with the neck canal to the appointment, a jomin. A word about what is meant by the term mind, mana in Buddhist philosophy may be useful here. It should clearly be understood that mind is not spirit as opposed to matter. It should always be remembered that Buddhism does not recognize a spirit opposed to matter as is accepted by most other systems of philosophies and religions. Mind is only a faculties or organs, indriya, like the eyes or the ears. It can be controlled and developed like any other faculty. And the Buddha speaks quite often of the values of controlling and disciplining these six faculties. The difference between the eyes and the mind as faculties is that the former senses the world of colors and visible forms, while the latter senses the world of ideas and thoughts and mental objects. We experience different feelings of the world with different senses. We cannot hear colors, but we can see them. Nor can we see songs, but we can hear them. Thus, with our five physical sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, hands, body, we experience only the world of visible form, sounds, odors, tastes, and tangible objects. But these represent only a part of the world, not the whole world. What are ideas and thoughts? They are also part of the world, but they cannot be sensed. They cannot be conveyed by the faculties of eyes, ears, nose, tongue, or body. Yet, they can be conceived by another faculty, which is mind. Now, ideas and thoughts are not independent of the world experienced by these five physical sense faculties. In fact, they depend on and are conditioned by physical experiences. Hence, a person born blind cannot have ideas of color, except through the analogies of songs, or some other things experienced through his other faculties. Ideas and thoughts which form a part of the world are thus produced and conditioned by physical experiences and are conceived by the mind. Hence, mind, mana, is considered as some faculties or organ, indriya, like the eyes or the ears. A word about what is meant by the term mind, mana in Buddhist philosophy may be useful here. So, Sakaloma Buddha Abhidhamma pure mana so the Sakalo, mind so the Sakalo. Diniamaro, Nene, Shimbia will do them, Diniamaro, a don't lure. It should clearly be understood that mind is not spirit, as opposed to matter. So Diniama teacher Nale Bulura say Suraga, you done a sentient by pity, like spirits look for at that winning call, Mahopu, the Horoshishin and Dita will. It should be always remembered that Buddhism does not recognize a spirit opposed to matter, as is accepted by most other systems of philosophy and religion. So the cha bhada use the cha abhidhamma rima, the cha dadana rima. Duroga spirit surao, duro amere yunchira shide, atta winning almo. And now winning all of like the mere balance of matter, you sentient baby. Tabi me, Tiniama Gomo, Yidji Lekan, Havulura, Boda Barama, Elo Usami, Mishivu, Boda Barama, Atta winning also a user, spirits re a user, Mishivu, winning re usami, Mishivu. The child Mashire. Minds re say is only a faculty or organ, indriya, like the eyes of the ear. Mind or a sega Tugaro faculty the kube. No, indri the kuba, inka the kube. Say so, like the cha indriya the indri, no organ for inka, no faculties or dwara, arata the kube. The cha mesiru namia geru to let the kube. It can be controlled and deployed like any other faculty. And the Buddha speaks quite often of the values of controlling and disciplining. This is faculty. So, any mind, the child, dwara di lube, Jakuna saku dwara, miasi, toda dwara, naru, ari lube, mind, chiluyare, do it, the faculty, mano dwara, control luyare, and double luyare. Adi lugari. The door dwara chauku controlling load the casino gane so seen a ganera peso be my needed solution, think they mean needed solution. Do a jury miare, so I miss of here, teach a shing a bida. Daddy temple, miss of your teacher shing a bida, and dwara chauku, choting, dainty a juji zuri, or no miss of here, Majakana pure. The difference between the eye and the mind as faculty is that the former senses of the world or color and visible form, while the later senses of the world of idea and thoughts and mental object. So the miasi dwara ne saku dwara ne mano dwara ne differences karo saku dwara so the ashiya ha ro bale tu aro rupa yong ne patat bi ti myin khan sa re mano dwara ja ro Sigu agency, Drito Jin in a Sari Abia, Dama Yong no Corabo, Dama Yong in a Badabi, do a Tidwi Canary. We experience different feels of the world with different senses. So, Doria, the loga machine, are you Dori, are you Tidwi Canary Consolation? Are you amusa like Guebima, Kazamu Bonsania like Guerra Mola? We cannot hear color get a single a yahongu jayalula. Majaya, but we can see them. Dore a young dore me here. နော်အဲ့ဒီအစင်းအရောင်တွေကိုမြင်ရတယ်နော် can we see sound လို့ရေအတန်ကိုမြင်ရလို့လား but we can hear them ငါတို့အတန်ကိုတော့ကြားရတယ် that's without our five physical sense organs eyes ear nose tongue body we experience only the world of visible form sound odor taste and tangible object so အဲ့ဒီရဲ့သူက၅ခုပေါ့နော်ရုပ်ဝတ္ထုအင်္ဂါ၅ပါးပေါ့ခေါင်းပြောတယ်မျက်စိတို့နားတို့နှာခေါင်းတို့ရှားတို့ခန္ဓာကိုယ်တို့အားဖြင့်အစင်းအတန်အနံ့ရတာတွေအတွေ့တွေကိုတို့တွေကသုံးသက်ခံစားနိုင်တယ်အဲ့ဒီလောက what of ideas and thought အဲ့ဒီတို့ရဲ့အတွေးတွေနဲ့တို့ရဲ့စိတ်ကူးစိတ်တန်းတွေနဲ့ဟာကြောင့်ဘယ်လိုလုပ်လဲအာယုန်တွေနဲ့အတွေးတွေနဲ့တစ်ခုလုံးနဲ့အဲ့ဒါကြောင့်ဘယ်လိုလုပ်လဲ they are also part of the world သူတို့ကလည်းဒီလောကရဲ့တစ်စိတ်တစ်ပိုင်းပဲလေနော် but they cannot be conceived by the faculties of eye ear nose tongue and body အဲ့ဒီအတွေးအာယုန်တွေဘာတွေညာတွေဆိုတာကြတော့လောကရဲ့အစိတ်တစ်ပိုင်းဖြစ်ပေမဲ့လို့မျက်စိနားနှာခေါင်းရှားကိုယ်စိတ်ဆိုတဲ့အင်္ဂါတွေနဲ့အဲ့ဒီအတွေးခေါ်တွေအကျဉ်းစီတွေကိုထိတွေ့ခံစားပေါက်ဖွာလို့မရတာနော် yeah they can be conceived by another faculty အဲ့ဒါတွေကိုတော့ဘာနဲ့ပဲဘာ dwara နဲ့ပဲရမလဲဆိုတော့ which is mind နဲ့မန dwara လို့ခေါ်တယ်စိတ်နှလုံးလို့ခေါ်တယ်မနော dwara အဖြစ်မဲ့အဲ့ဒါတွေကိုထိတွေ့ပေါက်ဖွာဆိုင်တယ်တဲ့ now ideas and thoughts are not independent of the world experienced by these five physical sense faculties so အဲ့လိုပြင်စ dwara အဖြစ် five physical sense faculty အဖြစ်တွေးသိရတဲ့အာယုံလောကကနေကင်းကွာပြီးတော့အတွေးခေါ်တဲ့အကျဉ်းစီတွေမဖြစ်ပွားနိုင်တော့ဘူးတဲ့မဖြစ်ပွားနိုင်တာကိုသိရတော့မယ် in fact တကယ်တမ်းတော့ they depend on and are conditioned by physical experiences တကယ်တော့သူတို့ကဒီရုပ်ပိုင်းဆိုင်ရာအတွေးအာယုံတွေးကြုံခံစားမှုတွေပေါ်မှာအကြောင်းပြုပြီးမှတည်ရှိနေခြင်းတာဖြစ်တယ်တဲ့ hence a person born blind cannot have ideas of color ဒီကလို့ပဲဒါကြောင့်မလို့လူတယောက်ကမွေးဖွားကြရရင်အလင်းမရမျက်စိနှစ်ကွင်းအလင်းမရဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်မျက်စိကန်းနဲ့ပေါ်ထားပါတော့အဲ့လိုဖြစ်တယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင် तू ဘယ်လိုလို့အယောင်နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးအစင်းရဲ့သဘောဘယ်လိုလို့တိုက်ရိုက်တည်တွေ့နိုင်မှာ except through the analogies of sound or some other things experience through his other faculty နော်အတန်တို့မဟုတ်အခြား dwara တို့ဖြင့် dwara တွေနဲ့တွေးတည်ရတဲ့အာယုန်တွေနဲ့အာယုန်တို့နဲ့လည်းအလားတူသဘောပဲရှိပါပဲနော်ရိတ်စားမိုံထပ်ပို့ပြီးမှမသိနိုင်ဘူးနားမကြောက်ဆိုအတန်ကြောင့်သူမသိနိုင်ဘူး so idea and thoughts which form a part of the world that's produced and conditioned by physical experiences and are conceived by the mind so ဒါကြောင့်မလို့အဲ့ဒီအတွေးခေါ်လို့အကျဉ်းစီလို့ဆိုတာကြတော့ခုနရုပ်အာယုံအတွေ့အကြုံတွေကနေအကြောင်းပြုပြီးမှဖြစ်ပေါ်လာပြီးတော့စိတ်ကနေအဲ့ဒါတွေကိုထိမြင်လာခြင်းဖြစ်တယ်တဲ့ hence ဒါကြောင့်မလို့ mind mana is considered a sense faculties or organ ကြောင့်မလို့တဲ့မနဆိုတဲ့စိတ်ရဲ့အာယုံတိဆွမ်းတဲ့အဲ့ဒီအကြည်တဲ့တော့မဟုတ်ဒီမျက်စိနားနာ like the eyes or the ear မျက်စိနားနာကဲလို့ပဲအင်ဒီတစ်ပါးဖြစ်တယ်ပေါ့စိတ်ကလည်းနော် the thought is the aggregate of perception စဉ္ညာခန္ဓာ like sensation perceptions also are the six kinds in relation to six internal faculties and the corresponding six external objects like sensations they are produced to the context of our sixth faculty with the external world. It is the perception that recognize object, whether physical or mental. The third is the aggregate of perception. The khana aro ayongo ati me byu bi ma ti de တင်ညာစေတသိက်တွေစုပေါင်းထားတဲ့နော်အစုပေါင်းဖြစ်တဲ့တင်ညက်ခန္ဓာလို့ခေါ်တယ်တဲ့ like sensation ဝေဒနာတွေအမျိုးမျိုးဖြစ်တယ်လို့ပဲ perception ဆိုတာလေတင်ညာဆိုတာလေ also are six kind in relation to six internal faculties and the corresponding six external objects so အတွင်းမှာရှိတဲ့ဝေဒနာလေးလိုပဲပေါ့နော်သူကလည်းအရှိမပြောခဲ့တဲ့ဝေဒနာခန္ဓာတွေကဝေဒနာလိုပဲတင်ညာမှာလည်းအတွင်းကရှိတဲ့ပဒါဒယုတ်6မျိုးနဲ့အပြင်မှာရှိတဲ့ရူပါယုံ6မျိုးလို့နဲ့ဆိုင်ရာရှင်ပြီးမှတွဲလာတဲ့6မျိုး6ပါရှိတယ်ပေါ့နော် perception ကလည်း so like sensations they are produced through the contact of our six faculties with the external world အတင်ညာဝေဒနာများခဲ့လို့ပဲတဲ့ဝေဒနာလိုပဲအတွင်းပဒါဒ6မျိုးနဲ့အပြင်အာယုံပေါ့နော်ခုနအတွင်းပဒါဒဆိုမျက်စိနားနှာခေါင်းပါညာအပြင်ဆိုအစင်းတန်နဲ့ရတာအဲ့ဒီနဲ့တွေးထိပြီးတော့ပေါက်ဖွာလာခြင်းဖြစ်တယ်တဲ့ရုပ်အာယုံမနောအာယုံဆိုပြီးမှအမဲ့ရနိုင်တယ်ပေါ့နော် is a perception that recognize object whether physical or mental ရုပ်အာယုံမနောအာယုံစိတ်အာယုံဆိုပြီးမှအမဲ့ရခြင်းအမဲ့သားပြုခြင်းကိစ္စအတွက်အဲ့ဒီအရာတွေအတွက်တင်ညာကဆောင်ရွက်တယ်ဒါကိုတင်ညာခန္ဓာလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ် perception မှတ်တာတယ်သုံးတတ်တယ်မျိုး perceive လုပ်တယ်မျိုး The four is the aggregate of mental formations sankhara khanda in this group are included all volitional activities both good and bad what is generally known as karma or karma comes under this group. The Buddha's own definitions of karma should be remembered here. All bhikkhus, it is volitions, Saitana, that I call karma. Having will, when as true body, speech, and mind. Volitions is mental constructions, mental activity. Its function is to direct the mind in the spheres of good, bad, or neutral activities. Just like sensations and perceptions, volition is six kinds, connected with the six internal faculties and the corresponding six objects, both physical and mental, in the external world. Sensations and perceptions are not volitional actions. They do not produce karmic effects. It is only volitional action, such as attentions, manasikara, will, chanda, determination, adimokha, confidence, saddha, concentration, samadhi, wisdom, panya, energy, vidya, desire, raga, repugnance or hate, patika, ignorance, avijja, kunsis, mana, ideas of self, sakkaya ditthi, etc., that can produce karmic effect. There are 52 such mental activity which constitute the aggregate of mental formations. The four, Saruddha Khanda are is the aggregate of mental formation. Sankhara Khanda လို့ခေါ်တယ်သင်္ခါရခန္ဓာလို့ခေါ်တယ်တဲ့အဲ့ဒါကိုစေတသိက်အစုအပေါင်းနော်စေတသိက်အစုအပေါင်းဖြစ်တဲ့သင်္ခါရခန္ဓာတဲ့အဲ့ဒီအစုမှာ in this group are included all volitional activity both good and bad ဒီထဲမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အကုန်လုံးစေတနာနဲ့လှုပ်ဆော်ပြီးမှလှုပ်ဆော်မှုအားလုံးဖြစ်လာတဲ့ကောင်းမှုမကောင်းမှုစသည်အပြင်အကုန်လုံးအကျိုးဝင်တယ်အဲ့ဒါကို what is generally known as karma လို့ရေဘူးကအပြင်ကံမဆိုပြီးမှသိရှိနေကြတဲ့အမှုအပေါင်းကအဲ့ဒါတွေအကုန်လုံးကအဲ့ဒီအဖွဲ့ထဲမှာပါတယ် volitional action အဖွဲ့ထဲမှာပါတယ် so volitional action ကိုကံမဆိုတဲ့ခေါင်းစဉ်အောက်ကနေနားလည်ထားလို့ရတယ်နော်မြတ်စွာဘုရားပြောတယ် the Buddha's own definition of karmas should be remembered here မြတ်စွာဘုရားပြောတဲ့ကိုယ်တိုင်ဖွင့်ဆိုထားတဲ့ကံမဆိုတဲ့အ내အဓိပ္ပာယ်ကိုဒီနေရာမှာသိဖို့လိုတယ်ပေါ့နော်မြတ်စွာဘုရားကပြောလဲဆိုအိုဘိက္ခုရယဟန်တို့တဲ့ Sedana. It is volition, Sedana gare, that I clock mare, Sedana can lue, Napia Mesure. I know the Sedana can mere. Having will, one a true body and body, speed and mind, are bogo to Diawa, not to send up you be the number. Having well, but not send up be the now. Go no low, Kaya can was again, Manoga, then the Puja, go no game. Volition is mental constrictions, mental activity. Sedana Zura Bale, volitions of Alice of Mano Pendi, Mano Lushamu. Editu alone body balance or it functions is to direct the mind in the spheres of good, bad, or neutral activities. To a long as on anima kudo, akudo, the more neutral call it Ibiagadavo. Eddie a movie to a sequel. See sign new city, just like sensations and perceptions. Vedanare, Tinyari lube, she and Naku alube. Volitions of the sixth kind. Connected with the six internal faculties and corresponding object, both physical and mental in the external world. So, see, with an anetinyari, the way what do I let Shira, so say the Namale, volition male, then Karamale, Chomushi, a twin Ubara, you will correct, Nancy Nana, go say dear, a piena, you I only one, a sin that Nayala, and Arama Nakulo Yoko, Mano, I necessarily say that I chow muse will be quite right, no? Messi my period, the Messi my period season now. Nama period, Nama, non necessary period, Nama period season now. Yellow, she had it. Dorole, with an anetinya or season a murim hoja, the sensation and perception are not volition action. Arto Yolomia, no? They do not produce karmic effect. Say the narrow with an with an arrow thing arrows are karmic effective matolo, can him a pissy where area. Gamma can a Judia or no, we back up or I am a pissy, would it? Is this only volitional action? Volitional action, ever by less of volitional season amuria, by less or volitional action. Never the attention look or a manatica. Nani will look or a sanda. Determination look or a demokar, dada, damadi, pinya, widia, raga, patiga, the dora, patiga, ignore awayza, matimu, mana, manati, takaya, take tea look or a area or gay a judia. I go long think I reckon about Germany. The Marablu Yitales, there are 52 such mental activity which constitute the aggregate of mental formation. So think how can I look at mental aggregate of mental formation? See the day bow, Nazen and Nemu a Joan to a pure heart. Nothing Nemu bow and hello that Sama Yita will not be with the Buddha does Alma. Maybe that spelling Mara like Pin Mara, see the look Mara like Pin Mara. So to get all Nazi, really, not think I can see the day got Nazi, Baro. Kobagan Nakuna Boma, Nazi, and the Mu Puma. Daro maybe Saya de Lumara, Pupumia, right? Tiaro Mama. The fear is the aggregate of consciousness, Vijnana Kanda. Consciousness is a reaction or response which has one of the six faculties, eyes, ears, nose, tongues, bodies, and mind as its basis, and one of the six corresponding external phenomena visible form, sound, odor, taste, tangible things, mind objects. That means an idea or thought as its objects. For instance, visual consciousness, Chakku Vijnana, has the eyes as its basis and a visible form as its object. Mental consciousness, mano-vijnana has the mind, mana, as its basis and a mental object. That means an idea's thought, dhamma, as its object. So consciousness is connected with other faculties, just like sensation, perceptions, and volitions. Consciousness also is the six kinds in relation to six internal faculties and corresponding six external objects. So, ပြင်စမ၅ခုမြောက်ဖြစ်တဲ့အရာဟာတော့ the aggregate of consciousness လို့ခေါ်တယ်ဝိညာဏခန္ဓာတဲ့ so consciousness လို့ခေါ်တယ်ဝိညာဉ်မဟုတ်ဘူးနော်ဝိညာဉ်ကတဲ့ဘာတွေနဲ့ဆက်ဆက်နေလဲဆိုတော့ဒီ six faculty တွေဖြစ်တဲ့မျက်စိနားနာရှာကိုယ်စိတ်ဆိုတဲ့ဟာတွေကအခြေခံပြီးတော့တခြားသူ့တဲ့ဆိုင်ရာအပြင်ကသဘောတရားတွေဖြစ်တဲ့ဟာရုပ်အစင်းရုပ်မျက်စိနဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ရုပ်အစင်းပေါ့နားနဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အတန်စသည်အပြင်เนาะအစင်းအတန်အနံ့အရာဒါအထီးတွေ့စိတ်ဆိုတဲ့ဟာတွေနဲ့တွားဆက်ဆက်နေတယ်တဲ့ဥပမာ visual consciousness လို့ခေါ်တဲ့စက္ခုဝိညာဏဆိုလို့ရှိရင်သူ့မှာဘာတွေရှိလဲဆိုတော့မျက်စိရှိတယ် eyes လို့ခေါ်တဲ့မျက်စိရှိတယ်ကာယမျက်စိပဒါရရှိတယ်ပေါ့နော်ပဒါရနဲ့နောက်အပြင်ကရှိတဲ့ visible form လို့ခေါ်တဲ့ object တစ်ခုရှိတယ်အစင်းရှိတယ်အဲ့ဒါနဲ့တွားပြီးမှထိတွေ့ပြီးမှဘာဖြစ်လာလဲဆိုစက္ခုဝိညာဏဖြစ်လာတယ်တဲ့မနောဝိညာဏဆိုလဲအဲ့လိုပဲတဲ့မနောဝိညာဏဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းစိတ်နဲ့မနောနဲ့အပြင်ရှိတဲ့ mental object လို့ခေါ်တဲ့ဓမ္မပေါ့ဓမ္မယုံပေါ့ဆိုဘာလဲဆိုတခါအတွေးတို့အကြံတို့အဲ့ဒီနဲ့ပေါင်းပြီးထိတွေ့ပြီးတဲ့အခါမှာမနောဝိညာဏဖြစ်လာတယ်တဲ့ so consciousness ကလည်းဝိညာဏဆိုတာလည်း is connected with ဘာတွေနဲ့ဆက်ဆက်နေလဲဆိုတော့ other faculty တခြားfaculties တွေနဲ့တခြားအရာတွေနဲ့ပဲသူကဆက်ဆက်နေတာပဲတဲ့ so that's like sensations perceptions and pollution အရှိကပြောခဲ့တဲ့ဝေဒနာတို့တင်ညာတို့သင်္ခါရတို့နဲ့နီးတူပဲသူတွေလည်း six internal faculty အတွင်းကရှိတဲ့ဝတ္ထုယုတ်6ပါးနဲ့အပြင်ကအာယုံ6ပါး corresponding six external object လို့ခေါ်တယ်အပြင်ကအာယုံ6ပါးတို့မှာမူတည်ပြီးတော့ဝိညာဏကလည်း6မျိုးရှိပါတယ်တဲ့ so it should be clearly understood that consciousness does not recognize an object. It is only a sort of awareness, an awareness of the presence of an object. When the eye comes in contact with the color, for instance blue, visual consciousness arises with simply its awareness of presence of color. But it does not recognize that it is blue. There is no recognition at this stage. It is perception, the third aggregate discussed about, that recognize that it is blue. The term visual consciousness is a philosophical expression denoting the same idea as is conveyed by the ordinary word seeing. Seeing does not mean recognizing. So are the other form of consciousness. So the ပစ္စမဝိညာဉ်ပေါ့နော်ဝိညာဉ်ဆိုရက် consciousness ကိုဘယ်လိုနားလည်ထားလို့ရမလဲဆိုရင်ကောင်းကောင်းရှင်းရှင်းနားလည်ထားမှာအာယုံကိုသူကခွဲခြားပြီးမသိဘူး recognize မလုပ်နိုင်ဘူး object ကိုအာယုံ object ကို recognize မလုပ်နိုင်ဘူး just source of awareness ပဲသိနေရုံပဲသိတာသိရုံလေးပဲသိတာတဲ့awareness or presence of an object အဲ့ဒီအပြင်ကရှိနေတဲ့ object အာယုံရဲ့သဘောလေးကိုပဲသိနေရုံပဲသိတယ်ဒါတဲ့ဥပမာဆိုလို့ရှိရင် when the eye come and contact with a color so မျက်စိနဲ့အပြင်ကအရောင်တစ်ခုနဲ့ထိပြီးထားရတော့ for instance blue ပေါ့အပြာရောင်နဲ့ထိတယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင် visual consciousness မြင်တဲ့စိတ်ပေါ့နော်စက္ခုဝိညာဏကဘာဖြစ်လဲဆိုစက္ခုဝိညာဏဖြစ်လာတယ်ပေါ့ arise ဖြစ်လာတယ် but with simply an awareness of the presence of color so အဲ့ဒါဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီမှာ color တစ်ခုလို့ပဲ तू က awareness ဖြစ်တယ်သိရုံပဲသိတယ်သူ့ကိုအပြာလားဘာလားညာလားဆိုပြီး तू က recognize မလုပ်ဘူး that's not recognizable. There is no recognition in this state. Any state ma, any asema, Bahama recognition load a machine, Quebia, the asema, Quebia timus are machine. But these are thou a piada, a nida, saying to me, Bah Quebia with these eyes, or take my pure tinya, to a metata muia, Daga a piaya, all metata to a piaman dear. The consciousness got dida more. So the term visual consciousness correct haga no saku vinyana correct visual consciousness correct philosophical expression denoting the same idea that conveyed by the ordinary word scenes. So any saku vinyana correct sakaloma no kana bore philosophical sakaloma tadana atong abidama atong to a yet those a guy named Pure Resolution. Mean change with the body a David sound. Mean change seeing. Seeing does not mean recognizing. So mean change of Pure Gama do a quebe babia tidelo biolumia, no? So are the other found or consciousness. The chart to need to wear char harry and over. Jar is who jar the attenly with the Bahat then yard then to a quebia with you. That's so then Dagaro. A computer at the bar then we could be able to allo tira could not be on a tinya tira dia general area tira hobo. It must be repeated here that according to Buddhist philosophy there is no permanent and changing spirit which can be considered self or soul or ego as opposed to matter, and that consciousness vijnana should not be taken as spirits in opposition to matter. This point has to particularly emphasize because a wrong notion that consciousness is a sort of self or soul that continues as a permanent system through life has persisted from the earliest time to the present day. It must be repeated here that in Yama, not the Jin Mima Biojina Shire. According to Buddhist philosophy, Bodha Abhidhamma Niyaro, there is no permanence or unchanging spirits, which can be considered as soul or self or ego. So, Bodha Abhidhamma, a mere Tawara Tishi Nevare, Mapelmale Tishi Nevare, so the spirits born, no? Eddie Winyan, so that go, Winyan go. Eddie would be myself, na at a go, you soul the Winyan go, you ego correct at that Winyan, so they're hard in it. And to be my Tachilomia, and you will send him by to a melomia, which he might be okay, no? Shima let the happy okay, baby. That consciousness vijnana should not be taken as spirits in opposition to matter. So kuna biore kanangaba ma ba wene vijnana kanale. Yo ye sanjin ba vijnan kaung so bima to met you lo mia wu de. Di niya ma kana ma ja lo le no. This point has to be particularly emphasized. The achago do re di cha le li ne ne ora lo pui lo de. Emphasize lo no? Because wrong notion that consciousness is a sort of self or soul that continue a permanent system through life has persisted from the earliest time to the present day. Who she don't want it? The native diame, winning to the consciousness, winning gong to be ma, the tello, a mere tower teaching it a yawu to be ma. I use where money die. Winning to be my Usashi die. The even Buddha did a marry mother, the mu Usashi die. The Jamlo, Tarigo, Pebble Luare, Dao, the Chanalibu Luare. So, Tinemaro, Tinalimawe, cannot yet have a yazi. Meaning Nazi to Jobo, no? The Lama cannot yet have a yazi. Now the Bama. Part 3 ma. So when that day I joined it was Sebima. Take care, bro. See you coming Tuesday. အားလုံးငြိမ်းချမ်းကြပါစေ